Previously on Balls.
Hours as opposed to like these hard thunderstorms and stuff like that. Hey, Peet?
Yeah, we don't mind the soft soaking rain. It's just traffic is hectic when that happens.
Yeah, well, you know what? People in Joburg and Pretoria, they drive on solar power, so there's no sun. You know what happens.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, it just smells so fresh outside now. It's lovely. It settles all the dust and the smog.
And I don't have to water my garden. It's lovely.
Thank goodness. Sally's not happy about that because it means you stay indoors all night. Yeah,
That's true.
Anyway, Peet van Zyl, the agent for Oscar Pistorius, welcome back to Balls Visual Radio again.
Thank you for having us.
Nice to chat to you again, and lots have developed obviously since the last time we spoke to you. The bail was given, but on conditions. Now those conditions have been overturned, and obviously one of the main reasons given was that Oscar wanted to travel, and that was with the idea of competing, right?
The idea is, obviously to get Oscar back into some routine and some form of normality at least. I think competition is maybe a bit far down the line, but definitely to try and get him back on the track to train again.
All right. Let's first of all, before we get on to what's happening, and we know he hasn't trained yet, but before we get on to that, I mean, since the last time we spoke to, I think you'd sat with him once when he was still in the holding cells.
Yep.
How often have you had a chance to actually sit with him and speak to him?
I've tried to at least see him once a week.
Yeah.
So we went and visited him at his uncle's place where he's staying. And there is definitely steady progress, but I think he's still grieving a lot for Leo's loss and trying to come to terms with this whole tragedy.
And I mean, is he in any frame of mind to actually even think about? Did he ask you if he can compete again, or that he wants to start running again?
I think competition is a bit further down the line, but he definitely mentioned recently that he feels that maybe he should start getting back on the track and do training. So needless to say, that was an opportunity for me and Ampi to sit down with him, and from the coach's side, he's quite keen actually to get Oscar back in training to at least get him going again.
Yeah. Look, and I mean, it's a tricky one from the event organizer's point of view, and we've seen some of the reports coming from London and places like that going highly unlikely. They've all said innocent until proven guilty, and that's what everyone's going on. He is innocent until proven guilty, but on the same token, there will be so much media and international focus wherever he goes that it'll be almost impossible to have him enter any event. Surely.
That's one of the things that we actually did discuss yesterday. Is the media hype and all that. So I think it's more a case of the mental readiness for Oscar if he wants to compete again than the physical condition, because that one can work on and you can have control over it. But as far as the mental readiness, I think that's going to take quite a while.
So, I mean, is he saying that mentally he needs to start running again in whichever form to be able to try and get his mind back to, it's going to be a long process, but is that what he's saying?
Yeah, for sure. That's why training, I think that's why Ampi's quite keen to get him back on the track, because obviously then, he's got an opportunity again to focus on training and get into a routine, and instead of just sitting at home and grieving and worrying and all that.
Has he got out of the house at all?
Yeah, he goes and visits his psychologist at least 2-3 times a week, and maybe just some normal chores, but most of the time he just stays at home.
Yeah, because when you think about the relaxing of the bail conditions as they have come, I mean, it would be very difficult for him to actually do any of that stuff and the same goes for his training. Where would he be able to train that there's not going to be hordes of people and journalists chasing him all over the place?
That's one thing that we also discussed yesterday in terms of training and what we need to do to at least create an environment for him where he can train and we can minimize the influence of media and spectators.
Is there such a place? I'm not asking you to say where, obviously, because that would defeat the whole...
No, we're not going to say where, but we're working on it.
Is it? Yeah, unless his uncle's got a really, really big back garden and he's building a track there. But I mean, I really, in all seriousness, I really do feel that it's whichever way and whatever he wants to do, it's because of what is pending at the moment that is going to prevent him from being able to do any of this stuff.
Yeah, probably. That's why we, as I said, at the end of the day, we're not forcing him.
Yeah.
It's going to be his call. But from the coach's side, as I said, Ampi is quite keen to at least get him into a routine again.
Yeah.
Are there still media parked permanently outside his uncle's house?
Yes, I was there yesterday and there were still guys with some very long lenses.
Sure. Wow. What? We know physically, obviously, he hasn't trained for a while, but physically, it shouldn't take too much for muscle memory to kick in and for him to get back to the kind of physical shape that he was in. But how long do you think the process? And I've obviously spoken to Ampi and his psychologist, and how long would it take to get his mental state anywhere near being able to actually focus just on running?
That's the biggest stumbling block for us. He was actually in very good shape before the incident because he was getting ready to fly to Australia about a week or two late where he was scheduled to go to Australia. It was actually in good shape because he for a good 6 weeks.
Sorry, Peet, you're just starting to break up a little bit there. I don't know if you're going through a dip or you're probably driving past Voda World right now.
Yeah.
No?
Yes,
Gone.
yeah. There we
It's
go.
where it always goes, Voda World. Should we try and get him back again?
Yeah.
Maybe one or two more that we just want to finish up with. Tasha's looking at me stunned right now. What?
It's an amazing interview.
Thanks.
But I mean, I'm just trying to think about whatever aspect. It's just it's visually important. Sorry, Peet.
No problem.
Yeah.
The joys of cell phone connection.
Yeah, I think I can guess exactly where you were when that went, yeah, but I'm not going to say it again. Where we were, I just had a couple of final ones for you, and obviously you were talking about, ever being able to get into some kind of mental frame of mind where you can focus on running.
Yeah, as I said, he was in very, very good physical shape because he was getting ready for Australia. So I'm not too worried about the physical side because when Ampi works on like 6-week cycles with him, so if he's got like 2 6-week cycles after training, then he would be in fairly good physical condition. But would he be up for that training already now, even in his mental state of mind? That's why we're not pressurizing him, and we're going to let him go steadily, and he must determine the pace at which he wants to train.
Just a couple of finals from my side, and obviously, I mean, Oscar was, he had such a large circle of people in his life before all of this happened. Are there still people that are popping around and coming to see him and talk to him from his sort of previous circle of friends, acquaintances, and colleagues and runners and people like that?
Yeah, we've got really we're surprised, and it's actually nice to see that people are sending a lot of messages of support, and it's from across the spectrum, whether it be just normal fans from the public or from friends. And I think that's maybe one of the things where the guys from the UK misquoted me in terms of meeting directors, because I've even received emails from meeting directors stating that they are supporting Oscar through this whole ordeal and they hope to one day see him back on the track. I mean, this is from a personal level. It's not that, listen guys, we invite Oscar to come and run. So.
All right, sorry if you hear silence, it's because we're turning our mics off because we can also hear the rain in the background. All right, but you haven't had any as such invitations to any specific events at this stage?
No. That's the furthest from our minds at this point in time is to go and compete.
All right, and last time we did speak to you, obviously, it was still very early, I think, in the whole process. So a lot, if not all of his sponsors were still on board. Subsequent to that, we obviously read that one or two of them had suspended the sponsorship of Oscar. I mean, what is the status with that now at the moment? I mean, does he have no more sponsors? Does he still have some that are attached to his name, and are some of them just waiting to see what happens, using the innocent till proven guilty line once again, as a sort of holding pattern?
Yeah, all sponsorships has been suspended, not terminated.
Okay.
So it's literally a case, as you mentioned now, let's wait, it's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. All right. Well, Peet, we appreciate your time having a chat, especially in the bucketing rain while you're trying to drive through the streets of who knows where. But thanks a lot. In Joburg, yeah. Well, thanks a lot for braving the weather, the elements, and chatting to us on Balls Radio this afternoon.
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Cheers, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we go. Peet van Sail. It is Peet van Sail. Yeah.
Who's the guy that tackled that ref?
That's why every time I say his name, I think of the guy who tackled David McHugh. No, it's not. It's a different one. All right, so there it is. That's the current status according to his agent.
But you raise a good point. Where is he going to train?
where can he train? I mean, you can, I think quite safely say that there will not be an event organizer that would risk inviting him to an event. So purely the training and just getting out there for him would be to try and use that as a way of getting his mind somewhere where he wants it to be. That's going to be, but again, where can he do that? Because as I say, there are people sitting outside his house now.
How's that?
Media,
How long are
waiting.
you going to stay there for?
It's
For
not going.
months and
It's
months?
not going to stay quiet, even if he does sneak out the back door and get somewhere. Someone is going to. It's not a lot of people that are blitzing around a track on a pair of blades that is not going to attract attention somewhere and say, I think Oscar's training at this venue or that venue. So it must be either an indoor venue, and it's otherwise going to be very difficult. Well, there it is. That is Oscar Pistorius' agent, Peet van Zyl, talking to us on Balls Visual Radio this afternoon.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za